Welcome back to Up Front. We're turning now to the race for the U.S. Senate and the third-party candidate who hopes to make some noise in this year's election. Libertarian Phil Anderson lives in the Madison area. He's a Wisconsin native, the general manager of Green Cab Company, and a realtor. And Phil Anderson joins us now from our Madison affiliate, WKOW-TV. Mr. Anderson, thanks very much for being with us. And let me begin by asking you what you would consider success on November 8th for your candidacy and for your party.
Well, truthfully, I don't think anyone can run a really good campaign unless they're really campaigning to win. So since I'm on the ballot for everyone in Wisconsin to vote, then victory would be the best thing, obviously. But recognizing that I'm running against two relatively popular incumbents, victory would be at least making a difference in the things that they talk about and the issues that get addressed and whoever gets elected as they serve in the United States Senate. And for our party to grow, and we found many, many new volunteers, people that identify as libertarians across the state. It's been very, very gratifying, and they've joined the state party, and looking forward to the next election cycle, we should do even better.
Your concern, based on your website, is that candidates from the major parties have become so loyal to the party that they're not really representing the people. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I would say so. And in the debate that you hosted, I mean, neither one of them would back down from staying behind their party's nominees, as deplorable as they both are. And I don't think that they, by virtue of that, and by virtue of looking at their voting records, that either of them can say that they've got the moral or political courage to be independent and actually represent the people of Wisconsin rather than just represent the parties that they belong to and the special interests that fund those parties.
Well, let's walk through a few of the issues, because I think people want to get a sense of what you believe. And I want to begin by talking about foreign policy. You're concerned that the U.S., in your words, is meddling in too many foreign affairs. What do you mean by that?
Well, we've been involved in wars all over the globe for 100 years. Some of them justified, of course, World War II. But a lot of the things that have happened in the last 60 or 70 years have been not wars of defense, but wars of aggression, where we're out there trying to secure natural resources, where we're trying to change the political regimes in various countries. We're out there trying to expand the influence of the dollar in world markets. And those aren't the sort of things that I think that the people that serve in the military and their loved ones back at home would really want to sacrifice their lives for. And certainly it's also radicalized people that live in other countries into being terrorists. So this idea that this foreign policy is actually in defense, it's actually created less safety for the people of the United States.
A lot of talk, Mr. Anderson, about trade and trade deals in this election. I talked to Gary Johnson, your party's presidential candidate, about this. He's a free trade guy. Are you also a free trade guy? In other words, you would support something like the Trans-Pacific Partnership Act?
Well, I think the Trans-Pacific Partnership is flawed. I think the best free trade agreements are those that can be written on, just a couple of pages. Let's decide what the appropriate weights and measures are for trading or whatever that might be. But the more that goods and services and people can travel across national borders, the better that is for everybody. We don't need a protectionist economy to expand our prosperity. What we need is for us to take advantage of our natural resources and the immense creativity and great education that our citizens have, and we can compete in the world better than anyone. Furthermore, that's also the best foreign policy, I think, too. People that big trading partners generally don't go to war. And the more that we trade with people all over the world unreservedly, the better and more peaceful the whole world will be.
And briefly, is reforming the criminal justice system a priority for you?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. Priority number one is to end the war on drugs. This is a failed war. It's done nothing but enrich criminals and put people in jail that are accused of crimes that have no victim. And it's put a huge burden on law enforcement and created a very difficult environment between the police and the people that they're supposed to be policing, to the point where they go into neighborhoods and arrest people of color disproportionately and wreck those families by putting those people in jail.
Phil Anderson is the Libertarian Party candidate for U.S. Senate this year. We appreciate your time today. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Mike. I appreciate it.
And last week, I moderated a debate between the two major party candidates for U.S. Senate, Republican Ron Johnson and Democrat Russ Feingold. If you missed it, you can still see it on the new WISN.com. Go to the menu and then choose the politics section to see the 90-minute debate. Coming up next, the anniversary Paul Ryan might not feel like celebrating.